Well, hello and welcome again to River Valley Farm. It's another, one day after we put that back together. So we're going to start that in a minute, see what happens with it, make sure it still starts okay. Purpose of today's video, though, is going to be getting this seed spreader / fertilizer spreader, and hopefully going to be a lime spreader out of there, and getting it to work. Hopefully it doesn't take much to get it to work, but anyway, I was going to spread lime with this old Easy Flow out here because that's its like sole purpose in life, is to spread lime with, and it's a really handy thing to do that with. But it's kind of rotten, like to the point of no return. Even if I could get it free and get it working, it's not going to last. Probably one trip across the field and then it'll be done. So something else for the scrap man if the price ever comes back up. Anywho's, so yeah, like I said, we're gonna start this turd here and see what's going on with it, give it a looking over too real good. And of course I parked the tractor right back on top of where I spilled fuel yesterday. Well, we don't seem to have any leaks on this side anyway. Let's look at this filter over here, and don't seem to have any leaks over here either, so we're good there. And also here. So all we really got left to do is to see if it'll start or not, right? Let's hope it will anyway, because, you know, that would be a whole lot of money wasted. That's a pretty respectable start. I know it's nice and sunny out and stuff, but it's probably not 50 degrees yet. I know these tractors don't have glow plugs or anything like that. They, well, in its younger days it would have had an ether can voltage right here, and that was your starting aid. We don't like those around here. They make bigger problems than what they really needed to be. So anyway, it started, it runs, that's cool. So I gotta get this blade off of here and get cleaned up so we can get that thing out, and hopefully the U-joints are free and the whole thing turns, and clean it out and what have you, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so another fly in the ointment thing here. My lift quit working, so as you can see, we've tore the hell out of it. Anyway, what happens is this, which I don't know if you can, but can't see with my big stupid hand down in there. Find something to point with, maybe. Okay, so this thing right here, this linkage here, it falls off all the time for some reason. I can't get clips to hold in this groove. There is a little groove in there. I hope y'all can see that. There's a little groove right there. Can't get clips to hold on that. So I'm done with it. This is, I don't know, the third time I've been in here doing this. So what I'm going to do, I think anyway, is I'm going to get a washer and put a washer over this thing. Get me a drill, which I happen to have on the truck anyway. And we're going to drill through this thing, put a cotter pin in it, like I said I was going to do a long time ago. Once again, if you've been following, you would know this, but basically I've gotten sick of it, so we're going to put a washer and a cotter pin on that, and then hope for the best that we will be able to hold it then. So let me do that, and then we will get on to the purpose of the video, I promise. All right, so I have my washer on there. Hopefully you guys can make that out for the shine. I don't know, I can see it, so maybe you guys can. I have a hard time seeing on this little GoPro screen, but anyway, is what it is. So now I got to get a drill and then drill that out. Hopefully, what I'm going to try and do anyway, let me show you what I got here, I guess, before I get too carried away. So I picked out this, which is a 5/64 bit, and I'm hopefully gonna drill it to, well, actually I don't even have an 1/8 inch bit. My 1/8 inch bit is missing. Yay. Anyway, so we're gonna try and drill it. Yeah, basically I'm gonna drill that hole and then see what else I can do, because I don't know right off the top of my head what size cotter pins I got. So I guess I should probably go do that first, huh? Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so drilling that is a no-go. I can't get a bite in that shaft. It's that hard of material, I can't get it. So we're gonna have to try something else. Now, it so happens I have a kit of internal, external retaining rings here. And of course you can see that, you know, my paper inside is kind of worse for wear. But we have these little rusty ones right here, should be 1/4. Okay, these ones should be 5/16, and those are 3/8, I believe. So this one right here should be a 3/8, and that should be a 5/16. So 3/8 is too big by a C hair, and the 5/16 is too small by a C hair, but we're gonna try and cram the 5/16 on there anyway, because that'll be way better than having one that's be way better to have one too small than one that's too big. And if you don't know what C hairs are, then I'm not gonna explain it to you right now, but anyway, maybe in another day when I'm in a bad mood. So anyway, that's what we're gonna try, with the washer on there, holding it back here, and then putting the snap ring in there. It might be enough to hold it from falling off if I don't drop the washer down in the hole while I'm messing around here pointing at stuff. So yeah, that's the plan now. All right, so we've got it put together down in there like I wanted it to be. What did I do with that steel line? Because if I don't hook up that steel line, it's gonna puke everywhere. Don't you love losing stuff? It's always more fun that way. There it is right there. So as I was saying, I got to hook up a steel line, and then we got to test it, make sure it don't leak, or, well, who really cares if it leaks inside? You know, actually that's not good either on a hydraulic system, but hey, this ain't hydraulics 101. Whoever it was that invented 3-point hitch and draft control, Harry Ferguson, he was just a ridiculously intelligent person to have been able to come up with a way to make all this work, because there's more into this than I can explain by far. But this is the same basic system that Harry Ferguson designed. You know, other than the draft control is a lot more precise with this tractor than it was on an 8N Ford. But you know, this is pretty much the same thing that he built, he designed all those years ago, with a few improvements, and you know, it still works. Internal cylinder, all that good stuff. So all right, we are in neutral still, so let's fire this thing up, see if the hitch works or not. Okay. It goes up, and I don't know, something in here needs adjusted on, but I ain't gonna mess with it today. But basically my goal is to be able to get the PTO shaft to sit level when we hook up to that seater, and now we should be able to accomplish that. So yeah, if it works, it works, right? And like I said, it's going up, It goes down. It'll stop when you tell it to, but it's not as precise as I'd like it to be. But like I say, that's an adjustment, and it'll have to wait for another day because we got other things to do right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go back around here and shut this off because I'm too cheap to go buy a $5 choke cable after I just spent $1,300 on that thing. So anyway, now I've got to put that back together and put all this back together and go with it. So up next I'll get the cedar and we'll see what it does. All right, so we've got the thing out where we can get to it now. Anyway, I turned it over to dump the excess crap out of it. This is an Avco New Idea spreader. We used to use this thing for cover crops on tobacco fields, and you know, it worked. It has served us very well for a long time doing that. And anyway, I'm gonna have to look up how to set the rate on it because there's no chart on the thing, and I'm sure we never had a book. So it has to do anyway with moving this pin here in these holes, and then that changes how far this lever will move, so on and so forth. Like I said, we used it for cover crops. We used it for spreading winter wheat, more or less. That's what we used it for. So it really didn't matter. We put in like we put 50 pounds to the acre of wheat. So if we put 50 pounds in the thing, we just drove around an acre field until it was gone. And you know, that's not going to be real efficient with what I'm doing right now if I'm looking for an even seeding. I was hoping to pick up an old cheap grain drill somewhere along the lines before I'd actually did this, but that did not work out. So here we are. We've got our faithful old seed sower here, and that's what we're going to use. For curiosity's sake, it is free. It does still all work, and even the slip shaft is still free, so that's cool. So pretty much all I'm going to do is grease it, check the oil in the gearbox. If I can find where you check the oil in this gearbox, there's got to be a place to do so, but I don't know where it is right off the top of my head. And as far as that goes, there may not even be oil in this gearbox, but there's got to be some place where you check it and fill it and all that good stuff. Anyway, this is probably where you do that at. But so you see what I've got to do here. Like I said, I got to look it up and see if I can figure out what model it is and get a chart for how to set it, what hole to put it in, all that good stuff, because it's been well, like I said, we've never set it, and I'm sure that this was an auction buy years ago and we never got a book to go with it. Before this, we had a different cedar that wasn't nearly this big, and it was a pain in the butt to use, but I don't remember the brand on it either. It was a galvanized box, 3-point mounted thing, and I want to think the framework for it was green, but I can't, like I said, that's been 25 years ago. So if anyone knows of a surefire way to set this, or knows or has a chart on one of these, by all means send me a picture of it so I can work that out for myself. But for right now, I'm just going to grease it up, check the oil like I said in that gearbox, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it all still works, it all still turns. I guess when I flip it back over, I'll show you that the inside parts do still work and turn and all that good stuff. But that's pretty much it for this thing. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so what we might do is hook that onto the disc and go see if we can work the field over once, just a quick once over, because it's getting really bad weedy already, and we'll go from there. But that thing walked all over that disc, my 10-foot 337 IH disc, with the old pump on there. We'll see what it'll do with this one. We might have to make us an adjustment So, hopefully the wind's not too bad, because the wind is definitely picking up. Want to see that? That's rusty nastiness there, whatever it is. And if I rub the gear, I get more rusty nastiness. I can't stick my finger down in there far enough to find any oil. So we've got us some 90 weight here, and we're going to do another little trick real quick. We're going to pump this thing with some grease too, just to add a little bit of insurance to what we're doing here against leaks. Okay, is it the right thing to do? No. Have I done it before successfully? Lots of times. Milwaukee grease gun shuts down after 50 pumps. As I said, it's not the right thing to do, but after you've been doing this stuff long enough and realize that, you know, parts and seals and what have you cost money, and you know, all that good stuff, well, you learn other ways of doing it to get by. Oh yeah, it's farting. That's great. Here we go. Squirt some Earl in there to go along with that grease, and you know, if it's at least got to be better than what it was, right? We've got something in there that's lubricated, that has lubricative qualities, right? I mean, not saying I know everything or anything like that, but it can't hurt anything. Nothing ever got hurt by having oil in it, except for the ocean, I guess. But hey, whatever, that was its own fault. All right, so we got oil in there, some oil in there anyway. It's running back out. We're going to call that good, because one thing we don't want to do is overfill it and have it blow the seals out of the thing if they are in fact still good. For all I know, this thing never ever had any oil put in it, because I can't remember myself or anybody else ever checking the oil level in the gearbox. So shame on us. But anyway, such is life of one of these things, because at the time you could pick one up at an auction for like 50 bucks, and so if you blew up one a year, well, you weren't really out anything other than 50 bucks. But hey, so there's that. At least it's got something in the gearbox now. All right, that's it for this seed sower. Let's see, we've worked on the tractor, we've worked on the seed sower. Now we're gonna do the disc, I guess. Get it going again. So hang on. All right, so here we are out in the wind out here with the old 37 disc. Last thing pulled it was an H, so it's only got one line on it, which is okay, because I mean, you know, really we're just going for a leveling effect. We're not really trying to cut that hard. So again, excuse the wind, it is what it is, I can't help it. So anyway, I missed backing up a little bit, but hey, it happens. And we got stuff here, and I brought the grease gun so we can grease it before we take off. But anyway, yeah, I've got an actual pin this time, but last time I used this bolt and tried this bent bolt pin and stuff. But you know, farmer's motto, don't throw nothing away, put it in the toolbox so you can use it again later if you have to, because we all know you're gonna have a use for it. Anyway, that's it for now. Let me get this thing hitched up, greased up, and ready to go, and then we'll go try it out. Worst we'll do is go down there and spin the tractor out, I guess. Okay, so it ain't too bad, it ain't too